always wanted to go to Hakone, to the Hakone Turnpike to be precise, and do it in a sports car. Doesn't matter what sports car that is actually. Or sa totoo lang, preferably in a Mazda 6, the same car that I'm driving in the Philippines. But here we are on our way to Hakone with the Toyota 86. So why did I choose a Toyota 86? Well, first and foremost, kasi I'm in a right-hand drive country, so the last thing that I wanna do is to adjust yung pag-manual ko. Kasi ang problem ko is I am not used to driving a manual pag nasa kaliwa yung shifter. Hindi ko ma-imagine sarili ko changing gears using my left hand. So that's a major adjustment point for me. So I decided instead to get an automatic car. Pero syempre, I also wanted to be maganda yung presyo. So in this case, I actually like the Toyota 86 because maganda yung presyo niya sa Omoshi to rent a car. And it cost me around mga 14,000 yen kung di nagkamali, including on-road insurance. So, not too bad for a 9-hour rental with a automatic sports car. I'm actually happy with it. So, yeah, ang thing that you're gonna be probably asking me is, how is it like to drive here in Japan? So, let's get to the part first na siguro tanong nyo is, nagta-traffic ba ang highway sa Japan? Well, we're currently in a traffic jam ngayon on the way to Hakone. But the pace is actually pretty good. We're at an average speed of 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. And ang maganda dyan is, when the roads are clear, this is my pet peeve palagi sa Pilipinas, no? How Filipinos violate the overtaking lane, or at least mga kamote drivers sa Pilipinas. But here, as you're gonna see, once the roads have cleared up a bit, the drivers here really are, they're really religiously following the overtaking lane rule. And at the same time, what I'm also impressed is, madalas sa Pilipinas, you're gonna encounter minsan na there's like a huge difference with some cars in terms of how fast they travel sa expressway. So, 100 yung speed limit sa atin, but the minimum is 60 kilometers per hour. But sometimes, there's far too often na cars traveling at 60 kilometers per hour dun sa minimum speed na yun. But here in Japan, almost everyone's really driving at the speed limit. So, yeah, mabilis yung pace ng expressway dito, but mabilis in a way na ang maganda dun is, since everyone's almost at the same pace, hindi siya overwhelming. And as a result, if you're gonna change lanes, we're gonna go to that part, speaking of which, we're gonna go to that part. If you're gonna change lanes, yun nga, since everyone's almost at the same pace naman, it's easy to change your lane here. And by the way, they're really gonna let you in if you're at the same speed as them. And yes, we're gonna get to that part nga. Yeah, it's customary here to flash your hazard twice as a thank you gesture. Other cars, as you're gonna see as well later, when I siguro let other people enter my lane, you're gonna be seeing na they're gonna flash their hazards twice as a signal or as a thank you gesture, basically, that you basically let them in your lane. So we're gonna be heading to our first stop muna on our way to Hakone because ihing-ihi na ako and I wanna have lunch before I get to Hakone. So there are two stops. There's an SA and the PA. The SA is the one with the restaurants and the mga kainan. The PA is mostly just a parking. So what you want to look for if you're gonna be going on a long drive in Japan is the SAs. If you're looking for at least food. Pero PA is gonna be good enough if, you know, ang hanap mo lang naman is CR. Like, naiihi ka na. that unless stated otherwise, the speed limit is usually mga 120. So you're gonna see cars here cruising at 120 kph unless it's stated otherwise na lang na 80 kph or anything like that. And as you're seeing ngayon, we're inside a tunnel, and there's a lot of tunnels here in Japan because, well, Japan's a very mountainous country, and therefore with Japan engineering, they really burrowed through every single tunnel they could possibly get or could possibly do. So yeah, Japan, being Japan, ang sobrang ganda ng kalsada. The roads are really perfect. They're very smooth. And yeah, the drivers are really just ibang level yung... Well, it's one thing to be disciplined in terms of road rules, but it's another for you to be courteous on the road. Because it's one thing to follow all the rules and all that stuff, but it's another yung pagdating sa courteousness, parang let's say when you signal, are they gonna let you in or not? Well, syempre, iba naman yung, let's say, ang bilis ang takbo ng isang kotse, papasok ka, it doesn't mean na nakasignal ka, it's like, you have the right of way. Pero I mean, at moments you're at the same speed lang naman, pero you wanna merge into the lane of that other driver, ayun, they're gonna be really courteous and really nice to let you in. Especially in the merges, mga zipper merge natin, mga ganyan, they're really, really obedient at that zipper merge. So other things to talk about while driving here on a highway sa Japan is the toll system. So ewan ko kung naririnig nyo sa kotse ngayon or sometimes along the road, meron kang naririnig na parang Japanese na nagsasalita sa electronics ng kotse. Well, that's because this is the ETC system. So it's these units na nasa left and right ko that have a card wherein that collects the toll, or I mean dun yung parang it's basically yun ang nagbabayad sa toll, yung card through that machine. Basically the ETC thing is very reliable. It's extremely reliable, so totoo lang. And you're gonna be able to pass through the gates at 30 kilometers per hour sustained actually. So that's really good in their toll collection system. So sana naman yung Pilipinas ganun din kaganda at ganun ka-reliable yung RFID natin no? But yeah, I think we have to ditch the free RFID stickers in favor of the unit. These two things that you're seeing ngayon sa windshield ko ng Toyota 86 natin. Finally, worth highlighting as well is the part na so as I mentioned nga, ang daming tunnels here in Japan because nga they burrowed through every mountain that they could possibly do. Worth noting is the part that you're easily gonna be able to lose your GPS signal both through your phone and through the car's built-in navigation. So just be prepared for that. Nangyari na sa akin kanina sa Tokyo actually, before we left Tokyo. Marami ring underground expressways actually in Tokyo. So, actually took a wrong exit and hindi mo nawala though, but syempre GPS nagre-reroute naman siya and yeah, basically it's all good. This is really a dream come true for me. The steering of this car is really good. And that automatic here, admittedly, I really want the manual 86, but yun nga, medyo kapado ako mag-drive ng right-hand drive na kotse with the manual shifter here on my left. And that's the thing that I love with the Toyota 86 and PRC ever since this car came out, the steering. I actually think that the steering of this car is much better compared to the steering of the Mazda MX-5. I still do prefer the MX-5 solely for the fact that, you know, it's a more nimble car, it's a smaller car. It really feels like a go-kart, the MX-5, as I've always said in my reviews of that car. Pero the 86 steering, I think, is much better compared to the MX-5. It's really Porsche-like in terms of the way, in terms of how it responds to your inputs. It's like, yun nga, as cliche as it sounds, it feels like an extension of you, yung steering nitong Toyota 86. By far. And yeah, as we're seeing ngayon, there's a lot of sports cars really driving up here in the Hakone Turnpike. So yeah, it's really a dream come true. Not gonna lie, it's really a dream come true for me to finally drive here the Hakone Turnpike with the Toyota 86. So yeah, with that said, I think I'm gonna shut up for a moment and just appreciate the winding roads here going up the observation deck on top of this mountain. Yeah, we're here ngayon in the another Toyota 86. So we're here. Okay. So yeah, segue like I actually met two friends in Japan because of my Toyota 86 rental here. They also have a Toyota 86, mind you, and so that's basically proof on how amazing the car culture here is in Japan. Really, really cool, really diverse. So I think it's a good time now for us to head down and go to Kamakura to explore more of Japan. this highway. If you play Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune, well, this expressway is gonna be very, very familiar to you. And it's a pleasure to drive in this expressway na rin sa wakas in real life. It's just surreal driving everything that you see in arcade and video games, and now suddenly you're here in real life driving on the very roads you're doing illegal street racing and all that stuff. But anyway, that's it for Go Flat Out PH here in Japan, in our dream Japan road trip. And I hope that you enjoyed our special video that we prepared for you. So yeah, thank you guys for your support for Go Flat Out PH, and to more enthusiast-centric content.
Tomorrow by together